I spent less than $1,000 for a month travel in Vietnam. In this video, I will break it down for you from the accommodation, the food and drinks, as well as the transport and everything else. First of all, since this video is going to be up on February 14, for all of you who celebrates Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day to you. My single self obviously don't, but I hope you're all enjoying it. So this video was requested by one of you in the comment in one of my travel videos, and the question is as such: how are you able to afford spending so much money on the production of one video? Also, how do you plan this all out? Do you get deals online or are you paying full retail for everything? Yes, I do pay full retail for everything. So yeah, I've been wanting to film this video for so long, but I got lazy, and because obviously making this type of videos requires me to speak and present data and numbers, which I'm not an expert of. What am I good at? Traveling, obviously. But anyway, all that to say is that this has been a long time coming, and I apologize that it has taken me so long to make this video, but I feel like this is the good time now in case you want to travel to Vietnam this year. So without further ado, let's get down to business. So on May last year, I went on my very first solo travel to Vietnam for 30 days, visiting 8 cities, starting from the north in Hanoi all the way down to Ho Chi Minh in the south. So these spendings are for Vietnam, so it doesn't include flight in and flight out, because everybody fly in from different countries and fly out to different countries. Some people land in Ho Chi Minh, some people land in Hanoi or even in Da Nang, and some people even do a land cross-border like what I did from Laos to Da Nang. So I feel like the cost for everybody would be different on this. Right, so I have my laptop over here and I'm gonna read out my expenses to you. I think we'll start with the most important, which is a roof over your head. So all throughout the 30 days in Vietnam, I stayed in hostels, which really helped to reduce the costs. So originally I wanted to stay in hotels, but during my planning, I came across hostels, and boy, was I glad to find it. So my accommodation total is 3,368,000 Vietnamese dong, or 135 US dollars. This is for the whole month. My most expensive is the hostel in Da Nang at 144,000 dong, or around 6 US dollars. But it's just a 3-minute walking distance from the beach, so it's in a prime location. There's laundry next door, nail salon, a $1 banh mi. Honestly, I could live there for months at a time. And then my cheapest hostel would be the one in Hoi An. It was 100,000 dong. You could even go lower than that. I think there were like levels of dorms that you can get. So that's about $4, and it comes with riverview balcony, buffet breakfast, and a swimming pool. And my favorite accommodation or hostel when I was in Vietnam would have to be the one in Da Nang. It's called the Lighthouse Da Nang. I really liked it there. That the second time I went to Da Nang, I stayed there again for a whole month. Another most important would be the food, obviously, and your drinks. I ate mostly local food when I was in Vietnam. You can save so much on food if you go to the local shops instead of going to restaurants that cater mostly to tourists. And finding good local food in Vietnam is pretty easy, I would say. Even if you're a vegetarian, most food comes with veggies as a side dish, so it was really easy, especially when I was in Hoi An. There were a lot of really nice vegetarian restaurants, and they are priced very reasonably, like local price. So my total cost for food and drinks in Vietnam was 7,866,000 dong, or 315 US dollars. My most expensive meal was a dinner I had with Coralie in Ho Chi Minh City. It was her last night in Vietnam and we wanted to have a good food at a nice restaurant. My bill was 200,000 Vietnamese dong, or about $8, and that was a really nice restaurant. My cheapest meal was a banh banh mi in Cat Ba, which was only 20,000 Vietnamese dong, or just less than $1. I was pleasantly surprised to find out that food in Cat Ba was slightly cheaper than the food in Hanoi. And my most favorite meal, banh mi, obviously. So I have had banh mi in every single region I went to in Vietnam. It was just so easy getting banh mi, and most of them taste quite nice. So the next thing would be transportation. My total transportation cost was 4,425,000 Vietnamese dong, or about 178 US dollars. My most expensive would be the bus I took to Cat Ba, which is 870,000 dong, or about $35. It was totally worth it though. It was a 10-hour journey with transit in Hanoi, and you have your own reclining bed with curtain, a TV, they give you water, a blanket, a charging port, and there's toilet in the bus, so it was really convenient. And I booked it through Want2Go Asia. Actually, all my buses throughout Vietnam, I booked them through Want2Go Asia. I just feel like it's easier, and they're pretty organized in Vietnam. My cheapest would be a Grab bike. It's 16,500 dong, or about 70 cents. That's a Grab that I took from the hostel in Da Nang to a meeting point, which is a restaurant, for a minibus to go to Hoi An. So I rode mostly Grab bikes wherever is possible. Like the big cities would have this, like Hanoi, Da Nang, Hoi An, Nha Trang, Ho Chi Minh, and they could go as low as $1 for a trip. So it was very convenient. I really liked using Grab, and also Sanus M. That's pretty nice too. My most worthy transport would be the bus from Hanoi Airport to city center at only 45,000 dong, or about $2, and that's a steal. If you're arriving in Hanoi on your own, I would suggest taking the bus instead of taking a taxi, because it would save you some money, and also it's just as comfortable. And then the next thing to mention would be the activities, obviously. So for activities, my total cost was 6,235,000 dong, or about 250 US dollars. My most expensive activities would be the Sapa private tour, which was 1,700,000 dong, or around 68 US dollars. And that's excluding entrance fees to attractions. But hear me out on this. So I have always been a planner when it comes to a vacation or going on holidays or traveling, however you want to call it. And prior to my going to Vietnam, I was kind of nervous of solo traveling, and I thought everything has to be organized in advance. So I was making bookings for like the big tours or big activities that I had planned to go in Vietnam, like way in advance. And I thought, like in Sapa, you have to get a private tour. That's why I ended up with this. And when I was there in the hostel, I met this girl from Turkey, and she was like, whoa, that was expensive. For 1,700,000, you could get like an overnight tour, you know, going into the paddy fields and then living the local life there. If I had to redo it again, I would opt for another way of doing this and not book a private tour, because it would save costs a lot if I had done it differently. But yeah, that's that. And the cheapest is my entry ticket to the Lonely Tree, which is also in Sapa. That's 20,000 Vietnamese dong, which is less than $1. My favorite activity and the most worthy would be the lantern boat ride in Hoi An. It was short. I think it was not even 15 minutes, but it was just magical. I would do it again. I definitely would. And it was only 94,000 dong. This is shared ride with 2 other girls in the boat. So around $4 per person. And the last one would be Miscellaneous. this consists of like laundry, tipping, souvenirs, and just some random buys of like a toothpaste, for example, and a phone case. So my most expensive miscellaneous is my Pop Mart spend, which was 820,000 dong, or about $35 at Bana Hills in Da Nang. But this was also like partly souvenirs for my friends, and I bought one for myself as well. So if you're not into Pop Mart, you can take this $35 from the spending easily, and this could get you like 3 really good meals in Vietnam. And my cheapest would be a toilet stop on a bus trip from Nha Trang to Ho Chi Minh City, which is 5,000 Vietnamese dong, or about 20 cents. And my most worthy would be the SIM card that I bought in Hanoi. It was 400,000 dong, or about $16, and that's for 150 gigabytes. So I did a lot of editing and also learning for video editing on YouTube and everything else really. I just watch a lot of videos in general in YouTube, and I could do it during long bus trips. You know, I had a 13-hour journey. I think that was from Nha Trang to Ho Chi Minh, and you know, having a SIM card and having an internet really helps you a lot. Really helped me a lot in editing my videos and also killing time during this bus trip. So yeah, that was totally worth it. I know that you can get eSIM or packages from your provider at home, but I just find that buying a SIM card, a local SIM card in the country that you go to, just a lot more gosh, I forgot the word. I just feel like you get the most out of buying a local SIM card. Yeah, that's it. So that was my total spending in Vietnam. That sums up to 991 US dollars for the whole 30 days. And I slept well, I ate good food, and I did many activities. If you want a breakdown of every single cent that I spent in Vietnam, let me know in the comments, and I might try to create a downloadable PDF so that you can see all the breakdowns. Vietnam has to be one of the best countries for you to visit if you're a solo traveler, especially if you're a first timer like I was. And it's for obvious reason, I think. It does not break your bank. What I would like to say is, if you have been thinking about going to Vietnam, go book that ticket, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.